Hello and welcome to the show. We are back on Forza Horizon 4, building another car to go rallying. It is the Ferrari, the 250 LM that we won in one of the wheel spins at the last of the previous episode of this. A lot of people wanted to see one of the most expensive cars in the game go for a rally, so we are going to give it a try. Now, it might stand a chance of actually going pretty fast down here. It's going to be light. It's probably going to be pretty powerful, and, I mean, with all-wheel drive, of course, it's going to have the traction, etc., to deal with what we're giving it. I don't know what we're going to be doing with the engine. That's an interesting one. So let's start by putting the required upgrades. All the vehicles that run in this series must be all-wheel drive. So yes, that means we make this classic Ferrari all-wheel drive. Our engine options, if the standard engine doesn't work, is a 4.5 litre, so the Ferrari 458 engine. I think the standard engine might do it, considering the lightness of the car, the tyres we're going to put on it are likely to shoot the PI up a fair bit. Rally tyres take it to almost the top of A-Class. 235s at the front and 305s at the rear. Now, we got away with 235s at the front on the S2000, and it's actually got bigger rear tyres. So, I mean, these tyre sizes may well work for the vehicle. We are going to get some lovely race brakes, some rally suspension, a full-on roll cage, while it adds a little bit of weight. The extra speed you get from the chassis or rigidity is worth it. And then we will probably go put the diff in the car. Now, we're at the top of A-Class, basically. I guess we've got to find out what the standard engine can do, whether we need to swap it or not. If we do swap it, we will have more than enough PI to do so. Let's give it some twin turbos. We're going to need pretty much all the power we can get out of this engine. If it is to get to the top of S1 class. The rules with this, the car must get the standard engine if they can get to within 10 PI of the top of S1 class. I would like to run the cars, but a lot of the vehicles we've run so far have not had good enough standard engines, basically, and this is going to be another case. It's not bad. It's just classic Ferrari racing engine. It's not bad, but that's way off the top of S1 class. So we will swap the engine. We are going to stick in the 458's V8, which is not too bad at all. We won't need to worry too much about upgrades with this one. We can get a little bit of weight out with the exhaust. Yeah, we can probably get it to. I say we can probably get to the top of S1 class fairly easily. It's just, these aren't giving it quite as much power as I was expecting it to. We might have to go for the turbos. I think we're going to. Yeah. Okay. We will or turbo or turbos. I'm presume. Oh, I forgot to do aero. That's normally an important bit for the vehicle. While it might seem like a little bit silly, yes, running aero is a very narrow technical beach stage. Truth is, there's no real disadvantage to it. No, it might not give us that much grip because we're not really going that fast, but then we also don't have any drag. Like, the drag effect doesn't really come in because we're not going fast enough for that drag to really slow. So it's worth having because it doesn't really cost us anything. Reduction in top speed doesn't matter because we're not going to be going fast whatsoever. We're going to drop that out of the car. And did I put valves in? No, I didn't put valves in. What bits? Oh, I want to keep the exhausting because that's got the. Okay, we'll drop it down there. 700. Ooh, that's a pretty big, tasty power to weight ratio right there. 720 horsepower, near enough. 500 torque. Car that weighs almost 2,000 pounds. It's a little bit heavy. Okay, almost 2,200 pounds. There we go. We can't do any of those in there. I'll have a look just in case things like driveline. Sometimes you can sneak the PI. Like, for example, we can get a clutch on if needed. Can I get a driveline in? Nope. I guess I can't do anything with the gearbox. We can get the gearbox in. It reckons. It'll probably only get one of these in. Clutch. Yeah. Only one of them. We'll have the diff already. And there we have our Ferrari. I think this stands a very good chance of going quickly. Control could be an issue, potentially, for the classic race car, but it's likely to be better than the likes of the MGB, potentially, and that power is immense, so could see a very fast car indeed. Well, quite possibly one of the most expensive rally cars ever is ready to take on our Sandy Beach stage. I'm kind of expecting some speed out of this car. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of expecting this to be pretty quick. Control could scare it if we get thrown around on the bumps a little bit too much. Might be the downside of the very light cars. I mean, how it deals with thick sand is going to be an interesting. Again, it's well, we've not really got a sort of set rule for almost. Yes, you're going to want power, because you're going to want to be able to power your way through the sand. Long gears, or longer gears in this car might not be quite... We might want to go down to first for all of that. And so, yeah, decent amount of power to propel the car through the thick sand is good. I mean, ride height-wise, it's probably not the lowest car that we all run. Well, it is a full-on race car and so on. And yeah, radial suspension lifts it up. There's still a maximum suspension the car will go to. It's low, but I don't think it's going to be the lowest that we see run through here. So it could be a good mix overall, dealing with sand, power, lightweight. Grip is so far fairly good. Grip so far is fairly good around this course. Let's tuck our way down there and then turn it neater. That's actually spot on. One of the best I've taken that corner. One of the best I've taken that corner ever. Full stop. This is actually driving pretty well. You wouldn't think this was a presumably modern car. It is tackling the beach rally stage with ease. Not quite as fast accelerating down that back stretch as some cars we have seen. Oh, and we're very wide through there. A bit of understeer. Bring it back for the exit here. Propel it up the hill nice and quickly. Watch out for the bumps there that will launch the car into the scenery. We actually still launched it a little bit wide. Made the turn, but we were a smidge wide. Down our Sandy Snake section towards the last of the hairpins. Big acceleration zone for the Ferrari. I think maybe it does struggle a little bit more in the thick sand than some of the cars we have seen. Feels like it's struggling that little bit more. Try not to splat into the castle we have landed. Set the car up nicely for a run to the finish line. Oh, it's a quick first run. That's a quick first run. It was a very good first run, I will say that much. I was very pleased with that one. 2-minute point 1. We are within a couple of seconds from the off. Let's say a couple of seconds, we're in a second. From the off. This could scare the Honda. A second is what we are looking for with the 250 LM. I'm not sure where we're going to find it. That previous run was fairly bloody good. So, I mean, there's a couple of places maybe I wasn't quite in the right gear. We might be able to get a slight improvement on. I think first is going to be used a little bit more in this car than we have done in some other vehicles, owing to the longer gear ratios. But otherwise, again, I mean, there's not much in the way of places that particular run went wrong. You see, we're a little bit better through that first hairpin. Now we can run out wide, use the banking to get the car down. You don't want to be getting bounced too much. Of course, you never want to be getting airtime. Well, so you never want to get airtime. You never want to get any more airtime than you really have to if you can help it. Because, of course, wheels in the air, cars will go forward. I chucked that in too soon. I chucked that in way too soon. That was a silly thing. That was a silly driving mistake by me, trying to throw the car around. I was trying to basically get a bit closer to the corner, try to get the car almost ready to get out of the corner too quickly, and yeah, stuff that one all up. Well, we might be able to regain some time. I mean, this run's going to be more of a practice run. Either I'm getting better at that corner, or the Ferrari's a little bit better responding than some of the other cars that I have driven. Again, lightweight going to always help with cornering. You're always going to want to be lighter when it comes to the corners. Just less mass to move around. Tyres don't have to work as hard. Better run down the back straight there. We got to 108 miles an hour. A little wonky on the brakes from me. Try to slow the car down, but we were better onto the straight. Now across the long, never-ending beach left-hander. Run up the hill. Again, we were a little bit faster through all of that. 102 miles an hour on the climb. Oh, well, we plonked our way. Again, I'm turning it a little too soon with this car. Try and be neat and tight. I always think it might be worth being a fraction slower into here, just to try and get the change of direction done, rather than carrying excess amount of speed, having to panic and flail, trying to get the car back under control again. Just be slow on the way into that section, and we are all good. Fly through the air, get the car onto the deck so we can accelerate away towards the finish line. A wonky start, fairly good end to the run. We have gone faster. So yeah, if we hadn't turned in that too soon part, we would have been, I mean, we may well have been beating the S2000. Well, we've got another car, sub 2 minutes, a 1:59.5 for the Ferrari. It beats the demon. It beats the demon, and now we need another 0.4 of a second. This is it, the final run for our Ferrari. Can it take the top spots on the leaderboard? Can I string everything together and get a nice, clean and fast run with the car? I'm hoping so. This is a good vehicle, as I expected it to be. It is a good vehicle for tackling this stage. In fact, the lightweight cars, I was worried slightly they'd get thrown around or have more trouble with the sand. This isn't quite the extreme lightweight. I say extreme light. It's bloody light. It's not as light as some cars will inevitably be that run through here, but you know, this is on the very light end of the spectrum in terms of Forza cars, and it's not really having too many issues. As I said, I think it may struggle just a bit with the thick sand. However, it is good enough through the corners to kind of make up for that little bit of acceleration loss. That's more like it. That was the line I wanted to go for that corner last time around. Didn't quite get it right. We are better through the car park, get out of the car park nicely as well. I say it might just feel like it's struggling a bit more through the thick sand than some of the other cars. Potentially the gear ratio is different and so on. Different engine sounds and whatnot. It does feel a little bit like it's struggling, but it may not actually be any slower. We hugged the inside maybe a little bit too much, just clipping the fence again. Clip the fence through there. Shouldn't cost us too much time in doing that as we go up to third for the back straight. 105 miles an hour for the car. Oh, little wide. We'll get away with it, but again, it's not quite spot on where I want it. We will head into the never-ending left-hand, try and get it. Focus on the exit up the hill. That's what we want to be doing. We're a little bit too bouncy up there, but it's okay. We're into this wiggly section to finish. I'm going to go for a similar sort of approach. Little calmer on the way in. Doesn't look as spectacular, but that could be very helpful. Second gear is working well there as we head up towards the Great Castle jump. Nicely onto the deck we go. Good landing from the 250. Always worried of the small cars. They'll get pinged around. Not the case. We actually get pinged around over the crest. Oh, it's going to be fast. It's going to be very fast. That was a good run. I'm pleased with that run and the time. Time says it. We knock a second off the top spot. The 250. 158.086. That was a good run. That was a very good run. I pretty much did what I wanted to with the car. The one place where I was just a little off, coming off the beach up the hill, I was a little wide on the approach. I couldn't quite get the line I wanted, so I couldn't quite carry the same speed up the hill as I had done previous runs. At that time, I think about 98 miles an hour. I'd been up to 103, 104. It's only small, tiny little things on that for the 250. I'm pleased with that run. I'm very pleased with that run. And, well, I mean, so I should be. That's the Ferrari to the top of the table. The 250 LM will displace that S2000. The Honda did not last long on the top of the leaderboard. And that's pushed that benchmark out a little bit further. That's another second down the road. It's over a second actually faster than the S2000. We do have an interesting selection of cars at the top of the table. The top three are made up of a 250 LM, an S2000 and a Dodge Demon. Not the three usual vehicles you see fighting one another, but there we go. Yeah, incredible performance from this classic Ferrari. That, though, is going to be it for this episode. If you have requests for cars you would like to see run around this course, please do leave them in the comment section. The most liked one will run next time out, provided it's a car that fits into S1 class with all-wheel drive and rally tyres. I'm also not doing the peel at the moment. It will happen, but just not yet. We'll see what car can potentially challenge this fantastic machine. I thank you all very much for watching, though, and until next time, a goodbye.